All right, going back to what we were talking about, the Elite 25 and why it is important to be in $1 million houses. Scotty, you said you don't think that that's important.
I think that it is important if you're going to be a realtor to know what you're talking about, but I don't think you have to go into $1 million house to know about the different materials that are in $1 million houses. Like, you could be a home builder and know more about $1 million houses and the materials and all that kind of stuff that's in them, rather than someone who's just shown up and looked around a couple of them.
Well, yeah, but a home builder you would consider that an expert, though.
Yeah. But, I mean, I could walk through $1 million house. That doesn't make me an expert on $1 million houses.
No, but like it desensitizes you.
It makes you a little bit more legit as a realtor.
Well, I think as far as materials go, it does make a difference because, for example, Trish Ingalls, her husband builds a lot of the $1 million houses in the Broadmoor, and he'll go to like Italy to get stuff for the kitchen. He'll go to France, and he'll import things from all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So how could we possibly know what that is if we're not from that area?
Right. It's like what he said about the Maytag house. Like, I didn't know that it was coral that on the beams that were outside, but then after looking at it, it's like, oh, I guess like this is just coral.
Yeah. But
they pulled from the ocean.
Sure. And that's cool. But, like if you walk into $1 million house and they have like granite countertops.
Well, let's say it this way. If you're going to price $1 million house, how would you know what to price it at?
You would do comps.
But how can you do comps on $1 million house? They're so custom.
Right.
There are no comps.
Yeah.
Sure.
If a house is $3.5 million, how many other $3.5 million houses are there out there to do a comp? Do you have 7 comps or 3 comps in like a 5-mile radius?
Maybe. I don't know. It would just depend on the house.
I mean, not likely. Not likely. I mean, and are they close enough in size and look and feel to be used as comps?
Right.
But like when you're looking at houses, would you compare a ranch-style house to a 3-story house?
No, but what I'm trying to say is the custom part of it that you're talking about doesn't make it worth that value to other people. So we did an open house on Alberta Falls, and that was a 5-bedroom? But one of the rooms had been turned into a wine room. And so they took out the carpet, like it just wasn't a bedroom anymore, essentially. And people hated it.
Right. I have a vlog on that.
Yeah, people hated it. They were like, I don't want this house specifically because it's so custom to this.
Yeah.
So
but when people are buying $1 million houses, they already understand that. They know that they're custom. If you're going to, where was that house out in Cordera? Or
it was Cordera area.
In Cordera, yeah. I mean, all those houses are still cookie cutter houses being built right next to each other. They're not custom houses.
Right. They're easily comparable.
Yeah, they're easily comparable.
Yeah, they're easily comparable.
Yeah, but a $3.5 million house is not easily comparable. I mean,
I've never had to price out a $1 million house.
Well, that's why going to the Elite 25 and seeing these houses is so important if you're trying to break into that.
If you're trying to break into the luxury market.
Yeah, if you're trying to break into the luxury market.
Right. Well, who doesn't want to be in the luxury market?
Well, everybody does,
That's everybody's bio on their Facebook.
Top producer.
Top producer, luxury agent. Yeah.
Yes.
What our deal is when we do an Elite 25, Scotty shows up maybe 50% of the time to an Elite 25. He just missed the Christmas party that we had.
I did miss Christmas party.
Which is the best one of all, and we're giving him shit for it.
Yeah, well, everybody shows up, and they're just having a good time. It's not so serious about, like, the house and the market and all that kind of stuff.
And he tried to say, oh, well, it was so windy outside.
Dude, there was a huge windstorm outside.
You do that, man. Yeah, like, if it's like, we're showing up to the office, and it's like, dude, it's snowing outside.
Mm-hmm.
I can't come to the office. It's like, what? What does that even mean? Like, you live in Colorado. You should know, like, there's no factor, to make it anywhere.
Yeah, I guess.
I think you just like to use that as a reason to stay home.
Oh, sometimes an excuse, absolutely.
You're just like, oh, dude, have you seen outside?
Well, yeah, I mean, because here's the thing. It's like, even with, like, Desert Glassworks and stuff like that. it's easy to say, yeah, it's snowing a couple inches. I really don't want to go in,
Right,
Beth,
right.
I'm trapped down here.
Right, yeah.
So it's totally an excuse sometimes, but there was a big windstorm that did cause a lot of damage. There was actually like a bunch of pets that got put up on the Humane Society website.
Oh, I bet
and
they
everything
ran.
because
Yeah, they got scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I'm saying like a lot of the
'cause
fences
they broke out of the fence.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Oh, that too, yeah. Yeah, my complex was totally thrashed. Like everybody's fence, yeah, kind of got hit. Mine didn't get hit, but
Mine didn't get hit, but mine's like pretty new.
Yeah, but you still made that excuse.
Oh, it's
he's like, I had to watch my fence, guys. It's like, what?
still looks good out there. Yeah. No, it's all right. I'll take the shit.
But
It's fine.
it's all about like rubbing shoulders with, higher end people. How they always say, you wanna. It's all about who you know, and you always want to hang out with people who are above you because that gives you kind of a goal to get towards. And so the Elite 25 is just like that. You're rubbing shoulders with these high end people in the industry.
Right. It's like what he
So-
said with me. Like when I first started going into those houses, I was like, oh my God. I was just like, this is just higher living. And like, you could just see it all over my face. Like when I'd walk in the house, I'd just be so, gassed up.
Starstruck.
Yeah, right. It's like, oh my God, they have a sauna in their bathroom. Oh my God, there's a pool. Like when do you ever see a pool in Colorado? Never.
Oh yeah.
I've seen maybe.
Or that what was that one Elite 25 where they had the pool underneath the floor.
Yeah, underneath the floor. So they were able to literally lift. I
Wow.
have a vlog on that too as well. They could lift the floor up and they can convert it into a pool. And it
Yeah.
was so cool. Yeah, it was so cool. But now, like I just said before we started the podcast, is there's like maybe 5 to 10 things that really make $1 million house $1 million house. Like when I walk into a house now, I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, this house is really nice. Yeah, you have, a badass island in the kitchen and, you have so many bedrooms and all that. But where's the movie theater room?
Or how about
where's the hot tub?
how about the hidden fridges?
The hidden fridge,
Right,
yeah, or
that-
like the
that
multiple
they
kitchens.
They look like a cabinet.
Oh yeah, they have
you-
the cabinet face.
Yeah, they have the
Uh-huh.
cabinet face.
Right, right.
You don't see those in everyday houses. You only see those in the high-end houses.
Or wine cellars, like their temperature controlled rooms. Any kind of room that's temperature controlled. We once saw a room that had they had a separate garage, like from the house, but underneath that garage was a temperature controlled room, and he had like guns in there. He had like just.
Oh yeah, all the safe rooms.
Yeah,
Oh,
and,
dude,
and-
that's
that
and then
house
there
with
was
the safe room was
safe rooms. That's
amazing.
another one. So like I can start marking off all these things. It's like, well, yeah, where's your safe room? Where's your all of those things. It's kind of in your mind. It makes sense. Or like, is your driveway heated?
Yeah.
So it's like you
Is-
start getting desensitized to all those things.
Well, you start to understand what those houses kind of look like. Like we would understand if we walked into like a $400,000 house, we would understand at what level it should look.
Right.
Oh,
Because
sure.
we're like, it's a $400,000 house.
most
It
of
has
those
to
are
have
cookie
X,
cutter.
Y, and Z. But like the $1 million houses, it's the same thing. The more you go in, the more you see the
The more you know.
the more you're like, well, where's all X, Y, and Z?
Right,
Because that's
right.
what $1 million house needs to have.
And then especially at the price points they're at, like remember this last Elite 25, there was like $1 million house for like the very first tour house, and then we went to the second one, and it was like the same price but way better. It was like, oh my God, I can't believe that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also because of a location.
Well, they were both on the Broadmoor.
Well, like for example, we went to one. I can't remember when it was, like a couple months ago, but we went to one that was like on the edge of the Broadmoor, and you're like, oh, this
The one with the
house is-
view. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
and
the
then
one.
then the next house was actually downtown. It wasn't
Oh,
in the
well,
Broadmoor,
sure.
and it was like, huh, these are completely different styles, completely different feel of house. This house, is like a much older house. You can tell, like the one that had. Remember when it had we did What's in the Garage, and they had those two
NSXs.
yeah,
Acura NSX.
Yeah. So like that house compared to like your typical Broadmoor house,
Right.
are
Right.
totally different.
Two
kinds
different
of-
vibes too.
yeah, totally different, but same price point.
Same price point. Right. Yeah, it's crazy how they can have that feel like that too. Those old Victorian homes, they just have that. I don't know. I like that feel more than the Broadmoor. It feels more home. It feels more cozy.
Two totally different feels.
I know.
Man. Totally different.
Oh yeah, well, like that. What was it? The 4.6 million that the Webbers had, that open house we went to.
Oh yeah,
that was gorgeous, and it was like modern, and it was just like
it was Flying
new.
Horse.
It was in Flying Horse, and then we went to that Elite 25 where that. They had the 7 acres, and they had a couple safe rooms and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In
the Black Forest.
Yeah. And I would much rather have the one in Black Forest than the one in Flying Horse. But that's just the style.
I don't know.
Right.
They're two different styles. Like I would take either of them.
Well, yeah.
I would take one at Flying Horse, or one at the Broadmoor, or one in Black Forest before I took one downtown, I think.
No,
Yeah,
I like downtown way better.
I mean, if I was to go downtown, I think I would want to go into maybe like a loft situation.
Well, when you say downtown, you mean Old North End. Is that what you mean?
Including Old North End, yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
But if I was going to go downtown, I would want to have a downtown feel where I'm in the loft, looking down at the clubs or whatever.
Like a condo?
Kind of like
cool.
like a bachelor pad.
Yeah, hell yeah. You just go right down.
But I wouldn't want to go live in the Old North End, I don't think.
I was listening to Ryan Serhant the other day, and he was saying how somebody could live in a building, like a realtor could live in a building and do work, like business exclusively out of that building. Like they're the ones who do all the sales in that building, right? Yeah, like they market specifically to that building.
Because let's say they do one of those condo complexes, and it's like they have like 300 units in there.
Yeah.
If like
you knew all those people, they're all your neighbors.
If you had like a 20% turnover rate every year, what's 20% of 300? That's how many
That's 60.
So 60 deals a year.
Yeah.
And
that'd be really, really good.
if they're like $2 million a pop.
Oh, dude, well, yeah.
Could you
but
imagine?
then you never want to move.
Right. Could you imagine though, like we were just talking about, like if somebody's shower like leaked on the top floor and like it leaked all the way down to like everybody below,
dude.
Oh my God, it's such a nightmare.
That would have to be quite the flood.
Such a nightmare.
Well, I wonder how on those big buildings like that, how they do the utilities as far as like heating the furnace and the water heater. Do they have one in every unit, or do they have one on every floor, or do they have one giant one for the entire building? Like one huge boiler?
They probably have one big boiler. They probably have one big boiler
on those skyscrapers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if they could. That would be a huge boiler.
Well, my apartment, we all had individual water heaters.
Yeah, my condo, we have one water heater for the building, and then we have individual furnaces. So it's kind of a mixture. But there's at the satellite hotel or not satellite, the Saturn ones, on Saturn, those ones.
Yeah, those 3 different buildings over there.
Yeah, those ones, they have a huge boiler on the roof, and then they have one central furnace.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyway, speaking of going back to Christmas parties, what are you guys' Christmas plans? Do we have anything going on?
I got to go down to Pueblo to see my grandparents.
There is a Manitou Christmas parade going on that I'm probably going to go to if you guys want to go.
A Manitou where? When?
I think it's either this weekend or next weekend. I was looking up things last night to do. There's a gingerbread house competition on the 18th at Red Leg Brewing. Have you guys ever been there before? To Red Leg Brewing? It's on Garden of the Gods. It's pretty cool. It's a brewery. Yeah.
Well, I did hear. I talked to Dano last night when I went to that the El Paso club, their Christmas party. I was talking to Dano. He's doing the DJing there, and he was talking about a wine tasting party kind of thing.
That'd be cool.
The Broadmoor, but it was in February. But he was like, that's where all the higher end people go. It's like the who's who goes there, So they have like all the Trish Ingalls would be there, and like a bunch of other higher end people would be there. And he's like, you can totally go. I think you know, you just buy a ticket, you go do the wine tasting and stuff like that, and then you just like everybody just like drinks and has fun, but it's all like people in the Broadmoor, so it's like a really high end people. So I was like,
Yeah.
That's cool.
that'd be a good place to go and kind of rub some shoulders with.
But when they do
people.
wine tasting, do they drink the wine or like do they spit it out?
Say what?
Like, you know, when like you do a wine tasting, like you taste it and you spit
And
it
you
back
spit
out.
You spit it out?
Yeah, I think
So
that's
you don't get drunk.
Yeah, but that's dumb.
Oh, yeah, that's why you go.
I know, right? To go get
Yeah.
right to get a buzz going
You're
on.
not supposed
yeah.
to swallow it. Yeah, and I think I'm going to. So I'm part of this Lowriders Colorado Springs dachshund group, and we're doing this.
Low rider.
Yeah, and we're gonna have a little meetup, and so I'm gonna go meet everybody's little weenie dogs and try and rub some shoulders there.
Yeah.
I'll bring my weenie dog.
Oh, yeah,
That's cool. That's
cool.
that's cool that you say that because I actually joined a French bulldog group too. But they just more like try and sell puppies on there. They don't have like a meetup. I'm trying to find a group like that though.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
to
why,
meet up.
why don't you start one?
I could start one.
Just
I
start
could.
one.
Yeah, you should. Well, it's funny because I was driving to work from my apartment like last year, and I had seen a sticker, and it had a little weenie dog on it. It said "Lowriders of Colorado," and I
That
was
is
like,
so cool.
I was like, oh man! And so I looked it up. Yeah, and I'm part of the group now. It's cool. We had there was like a little Halloween meetup and everything.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
so-
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
that's
try and
cool.
take over the weenie market.
That's funny. That's cool, man.
Mhm.
You need
Yeah.
to get a dog now, Scott.
Mhm.
No. No. I won't get a dog for a while.
What kind of dog would you get?
I don't know. I like bigger dogs.
Hmm.
You know, because I want to go like hunting with them, or I want to go do like activities with them that they would be able to
Hang with.
hang with.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I did, I don't think you could bring dogs on the incline anymore, but if I was going to do
Right.
something like that,
Mhm.
I would want to bring, my dog, like go on like a 2 or 3 mile hike. I'd want to bring my dog and not have to carry him half the way.
Yeah, I get that.
That'd be hard, yeah. 'Cause
Or like if I go to a lake, I like to throw water or throw a stick in the water and have them go jump out into the water.
Rollo will do that.
for-
Rollo will get in the water and do
Yeah,
all that.
I mean,
Not
but-
Ollie.
Yeah, Ollie would definitely.
Dude, Ollie's Ollie's like he gets nervous because we would fill up the bath a little bit and then we put him in there and he like just immediately like froze and he doesn't like water at all.
Yeah. My dog, he hates baths, but he'll go up to a sprinkler and be like, you know, put his face right in there, his one eyeball, like.
That's funny.
I just did the incline not that long ago. I did it last Saturday. We woke up in the morning and went and did it.
You and Minda? Did Brian end up going?
No, Brian didn't go. He was like, I don't want to go if your girl's going. Because we like to go all the way up and we run the bar trail down.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
So you didn't want it to be kind of leisurely.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be leisurely. Last time me and Brian did, we did an hour and 40 minutes up and down.
Up and down.
Yeah,
That's
up and
pretty-
down.
That's
That's
pretty good.
Is that a good time?
That's solid
That's pretty good.
time. Yeah.
Because that's probably like 45 minutes up and then an hour. down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was really, really good.
Have you guys heard that Neurolink, Elon Musk's company, is going to start doing human trials in 6 months?
Mm-hmm.
But I also just heard today that there's a federal investigation going into Neuralink because they're saying that he's causing suffering and death of animals that are unnecessary. So since 2018,
Oh, whatever.
because they've done the Neuralink in a bunch of different animals and stuff, but since
Okay.
2018, 1,500 animals have died
Whoa.
during the testing of it.
Whoa. Well, what kind of animals?
There's
Like, I guess they're all
pigs, sheep,
animals.
Whatever.
monkeys.
Well, let's say. Well, I think we want all animals to live, but
Uh-huh.
we don't want them to suffer or anything.
I
But
mean, there has to be some sacrifices if you're gonna make
sure,
progress
for
in scientific
in some
research.
field,
Mhm.
but 1,500 that's a lot. That's a slaughter.
in,
yeah.
in 4
Well,
years. So
I
I
mean-
mean that's
We've been doing animal testing forever.
Yeah,
So,
but
I mean,
that's a lot of death though for and what is Neuralink anyway? Is that just like
So,
it's like a phone for your brain or something?
no. So it's a little chip. It's about the size of a coin, and they
Right.
implant it in the back right here,
Right.
and then you can start to basically be kind of like like a humanoid, I guess is what you'd call it.
But like you can check notifications from your mind now and things.
So they actually I don't know if it would go to. I'm sure at some point it would get to that level, but right now, they had this monkey who was playing the classic game Pong. We all know what Pong is, right? Mm-hmm. And so it was controlling the bar with its brain, and it was playing like on the computer. It didn't need a controller or anything like that. It was just doing the thoughts.
I've been waiting for something like that to come out.
I wouldn't do it.
I've always wanted to play Pong.
I would.
My mind.
Those 1,500 animal deaths were worth it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but but I would just never get the chip. I just like being as natural as possible.
I would probably get the chip if it was safe and convenient, to do.
Well, it's funny because you say that, but you wouldn't even let like a Tesla drive itself.
No, I would not do that.
But
No.
you'd get a chip in your brain.
Well, what does the chip really do, though? If it's thinking what I'm thinking it's going to do, like if it's one of those, like that episode of Black Mirror where that guy's like able to like look with his eyes.
Yeah,
and
it will eventually get to that point.
There's like a phone. It's like a phone in your brain. You know what I mean?
I think it will do that, but I think it'll start with like your actual like phone. Like for example, if you wanted to like text somebody, you would just think like,
this is
hey,
the text.
Open up the text. You would think about it, and you'd be like, boop, and then you'd hit send.
Yeah,
or whatever.
right.
I think that's where it'll start.
The transition. Yeah.
And then like eventually, as we progress, it'll like, obviously become more advanced. But I think that would be like the beginning of where it would start.
Yeah,
that makes me really excited.
It makes me excited. But you are right about me though, because I will be 80 years old. And my kids are going to be like, come on, Grandpa, let's go in the car. And I'm like, is that son of a bitch trying to drive itself? They're like, come on, Grandpa, just get in the car. I'm like, no, one of you needs to drive. Just pretend like you're driving. He doesn't know. Their hands are like halfway on
yeah. See, I would totally let a Tesla drive me. I already have. I've hopped in a Tesla, and it's scary when you start going around bends and you're around other cars because you're like, oh my god, is this gonna?
Yeah. Well, I think why it's so why people are so nervous right now is because you're mixing autonomous driving with real people driving.
Sure,
right?
It's just not there yet.
So like the real people can make mistakes, and the program can make mistakes. But if you had all of on the program would see each other moving.
That's
and stuff
what
like
I
that,
think
and
too.
so there would be less
I agree.
mistakes.
I agree.
But I think right now it's just
by the time
there's a mix, so it's like,
dude, that'd be horrible. I wouldn't be able to speed or anything. I would be so mad.
But think of all the time. But you
wouldn't.
Who cares? Think of all the time you would save. Like you doing work in the car. Like if you had to go 30 minutes somewhere, that 30 minutes is way more valuable to you than trying to save a couple minutes on speeding.
Sure, but imagine like taking like a 10-hour trip out to Iowa.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have to drive.
Yeah, you would just sit back and do whatever you
want. You
want.
Watch a movie, or you would be on your phone working, or
yeah, but it would take that exact amount of time. Like when I drive to Iowa, I can cut off like a good amount of time because I'm.
But it doesn't matter the amount of time that you're trying to cut off.
I think it'll actually speed up the time because there won't be traffic. Because the reason why there's traffic is because there's people stopping and going and changing lanes and trying to do all these things, and it's causing a lot of traffic. But when you have everything kind of like working bees or whatever, all doing the exact same thing perfectly, it'll just be faster. There will be no jams. There will be no accidents. There will be no nothing.
Or maybe there will be no more speed limits either. Maybe if they said, okay, if we can synchronize all cars to be on the same software or something and they all know what they're doing, maybe we could get them up to a safe level with the conditions on the road. So if they were like, hey, there's no wind, there's no bad weather, this car can go 120 miles an hour, and we know exactly what other cars are coming, and there's going to be like a 0.001 chance of an accident.
Well, sure, but I mean, imagine even being in like a big snowstorm and just letting your car drive you around.
But that's what I'm saying.
That'd be scary.
But that's what I'm saying is that it would have to. They would know that. I think the technology will be there in the future. Like, oh, we can only go 30 miles an hour right now because the conditions are so bad.
Well, I mean, I think it's all going to change. Like, we might not have like the tires we have now. We might have some crazy tires that like have no problem in any kind of situation, and they never go flat. Never. I mean, that technology at some point will come out, It's just when.
Or a way for the road to never get
Yeah.
ice on it.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
kind of a material that they could make it out of that we don't know about
there's-
yet.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
There's things always improving, so
Yeah.
it'll happen. Just when.
I mean, there'll
When
always
we're
be
old.
traffic though, because if there's 10,000 people on an event trying to leave that event all at the same time,
Right.
and then you still have to stick with traffic patterns and all that kind of
Well,
stuff.
I guess it's more of a big city
but it'd be a lot
problem.
faster.
It would definitely be a big city problem.
Or maybe people won't even.
Well, no, because they would probably ban them in the big cities, and they'd probably just have like a bunch of trains and stuff.
Well, that's
going.
or what were they thinking about? Like if you own a car that can automate itself and like you can send it out to go get people, like an Uber, like a self-automated Uber. So it could pick up.
There might not be any like personally owned cars.
That's what I'm saying, and it could just pick up like 5-6 people at a time, drop them all off, or like do the logistics
It's like a
of where
ride
everybody
share.
lives, and make it all convenient. Somehow they're gonna figure out the logistics.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos probably will
it'll-
get on it.
It'll definitely happen, but it's just when.
Let's hear it, boys. You getting the chip or not?
Maybe not now that you said all those animals have died, but maybe in the future.
Well, if they're starting human trials, just think about how many humans are going to die.
Would you go out into space if you had the opportunity right now? If you were a billionaire,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I would do that
Oh, yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate flex. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be cool to like if they had like buses going up to space and stuff like that. But I think
that will be a thing too.
I think a lot of people's body just couldn't handle it. Do you think your body could handle it? Like
Well,
all the
they-
G's going
they
up there
will,
and your stomach and everything?
They will fix that. At some
Yeah, I think that they'll fix that at some point. That'll probably be something by the time we're like 80 years old. They'll be doing things like that too, probably.
Yeah, I mean they might like figure something out like big space suits that
Like-
cancel out G's, and you're just like
Yeah, and they'll be selling it like a cruise, instead of
yeah.
going on a cruise, you go on a
And
space
I think
flight.
we're actually a lot closer than that than we actually think. Yeah, because
That's exciting.
Because Elon has those rockets going up that he reuses.
Oh yeah, the
You know,
SpaceX.
so like,
Mhm.
so now that we have that, now we just need to be able to, we've cracked one of the codes. Okay, now we got a few more, but
Or what is it that your dad, Scotty, was talking to me about, like them making like a hotel in space?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like if you were able to take a flight from Earth to like a International Space Station or a space station hotel, and you can stay up there for one night and then come back, like that would be the future of travel for
That'd
sure.
be so expensive.
But maybe one day it wouldn't be, it'd be so
Oh
convenient.
well, sure, yeah, eventually.
Just like how we were talking about going on a cruise. A cruise is like, what'd you say, like $400, $500?
oh yeah, for like a really nice room.
Yeah, right. It could totally be like that one day.
Yeah, right now it's just so cheap.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I don't want to die
Yeah.
drowning.
Well, I mean, I mean, if they could figure out how, let's think about this. If they go to Mars and they find, or let's say not even Mars, but just like another planet, and they find some kind of material that could replace what they're using now. Kind of think of like the movie Avatar, where they're going to this other like world, and then they're mining all the stuff from that world and bringing it back to our world.
Right, yeah. Uh-huh.
So what if we had something like that where it's like we don't need gas anymore because we have
Some element we haven't found.
Yeah, some element over
Yeah.
here that's like 1,000 times more powerful, and instead of needing a gallon of gas, you need one little 1x1 brick of this little thing, and your car could last for a month.
Sure.
Oh, I'm sure that there probably is.
Yeah, we
things
could
like
totally
that.
find something like that, but like that could happen in a couple of years. Like we could go to Mars, or the rovers could like find something and bring it back, and they're like, holy crap!
Really, the future is it's solar. What I think they should do is put solar on all new built houses. That should just be a mandatory
Well, I think solar needs
thing.
to be.
It needs to be more.
It needs to become
affordable.
a building material. I think.
Well, it just needs to be, not only more affordable, but it just needs to be just a standard thing, like how your home has heat and it has water. It just should be able to provide energy.
Well, I think it should be a building material in the sense that like your entire roof is solar.
Right, like
You know,
Elon Musk's
Tesla's.
solar
Your
roof,
your
yeah.
windows, all your windows are solar.
Yes.
The siding on
Sure,
your house
sure.
is solar. I mean,
Yeah, but-
your everything on
and
your
that
house
probably
is-
will be the future.
But-
That will
But
be.
could you imagine replacing all those like those cells in the solar panels and
Well,
all that
yeah.
kind of
Well,
stuff?
yeah, but
how
you
expensive
but
that
so
would
what?
really
You do
be.
it. You do it with your roof too. You know, a roof
Yeah.
is like
You
$5
get-
grand.
yeah,
you know, it's
you get a new
expensive.
roof every like 15, 20 years. You
Right. One day that'll probably just be like that, like $5 grand for a new solar roof or
Know?
something.
Or every 10 years you get a new roof.
Well, you just
Yeah.
couldn't
So,
do
like-
it in certain parts of the country, you know, in like Oregon, where it's like cloudy all the time.
It doesn't.
And all that
Clouds
kind of
don't matter.
Clouds don't really affect the
It gets
photovoltaic
the rays, yeah.
rays that go through the. It's not the heat. It's the rays of the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, Elon said we only need like a certain amount of acreage, and we could power the entire U.S. So it's
Well, I
like,
think they say like 1 hour of the sun puts out enough for the whole, like our whole day, right, or something like that of
I don't
energy.
know.
I heard Elon say, I can't remember how much he said, but he said we only need like this amount of acreage, and it really was not that much. I think it was like, 1,000 acres or a couple thousand acres. He's like, and that could power the entire U.S.
But that will be the next thing. It's like all cars will just be much better batteries that last a lot longer, and you won't even need to charge it that often. And even if you do,
sure.
that's
It's kind of like how each year they keep producing cars, and some cars can get like 30 some miles per gallon now, and all that kind
right,
of stuff.
right.
Yeah.
As
Well,
opposed to mine that gets 16.
Oh yeah, I'm getting 10.5.
yeah. We all have pretty old cars, though.
I have a collector's car, or a classic, classic
Oh,
car. Yeah,
it's a collectible.
yeah,
now.
no, it's older than 20 years old.
Wow.
Yeah,
So it's what, 2000 and
it was a 2000.
2000?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I got 2005, so I'm coming up.
You coming up on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, here in a month, I'll be 28 and I'll have had that car for 12 years.
Dang.
And that's the only car you've ever
And that's
had.
the only car I've ever had.
Jesus.
Wow, you need a new car.
Dude, I need a new car.
Oh man.
Yeah, the Merc has treated me well. I've not treated it well, and it has done really well for me.
Yeah, that's good,
I've
though.
put like
that's good.
130,000 miles on that car.
Wow.
So,
Well, good thing you just got your real estate license,
oh, I know.
because I'm pretty sure I put like 60,000 miles on my car last year.
60,000 last year.
Yeah, like a ridiculous amount of. Maybe not 60,000, but like a lot. I went into my tax and they're like, how much? And I was like pulling it up, and I was like, what's the average? And they're like, the average. I think they said the average was like,
It's like 10 or 12, isn't it?
yeah, 10 or 12, and I was like, yeah, just by looking at this, you can just triple that, and that's probably not all of it. It's just showing the house. Dude, remember when I told you about that one lady that I was showing houses to all over Colorado?
Mm-hmm.
And I spent like a month, or it was like 3 weeks or something showing her houses, and we literally would go like, I would show her like 4 houses a day, every single day for like 3 weeks, and it would be like, we got to drive 4 hours down south, past Pueblo and everything. We'd see a house, and then we'd drive 45 minutes to the east to see another house, and then we'd drive an hour, like northwest to see another house. And like I did that for like 3 weeks. Like I literally put on
In your truck.
I probably put on like 12,000 miles in that week.
Yeah.
I was just like, I was driving nonstop.
You went above and beyond.
Yeah, I found them a house though. They bought a house. They're happy with it, and yeah, I spent probably like $3,000 in gas that month.
Nice. My mom's house just won their
I was gonna
contract.
say Damon's got a couple transactions going on right now.
Well, I mean, I have a few listings.
I got a
but,
bunch of listings.
but that's good though, because my mom's is the one that got it first, and which is good. And it's like, good, Mom. Get her out of the south side. Get her up in something north.
Did she get a contract yet?
Yeah, she got a contract the other night, and then they accepted our offer for the house that she wanted. That's the great part about this market. It's like, even though like we got it for like 20,000 under asking, like for her house, but then on the other house we went 10,000 under asking. Mm-hmm. So it kind of almost equated. And like I said, she got what she wanted.
Well,
she didn't have to.
Is she getting closing costs paid?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But that's really not a big deal. Like I said, it's not like we had to go back 6 months, a year from now, and had to go 50,000 over asking for a house,
Oh,
you know, and then maybe not even get it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it changed so quickly because I got mine right at asking, but I got like $7,800 in seller concessions.
right.
And that was just
wow.
yeah, and that was
you
just
hit
back
it
in
right at the top.
I know. And then I was like back in July, so
Yep, that was right at the top.
Mhm.
It was like July 30th. It was like everything's going down.
oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, but you know it's really good. It's right by Cottonwood Park, and yeah, just right in the area where she wants to
that's
be.
it. That's right by my parents' house.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
where a lot of
That's
I
why
think
it's-
older people live is by Cottonwood Park.
Yeah,
You know,
Frank's
yeah.
lives right there.
All of our parents live over there. Your
Mhm.
parents kind of live over there. You know, so do yours.
Yeah.
It's, but you know, I wonder why that is. You know, maybe that like when they were here back in the day, maybe that was like an aspiring place to be.
Oh yeah. Well,
You know.
it's like Briargate for us.
Sure.
Like me, I would like to go to Briargate.
Have you guys ever
Even though
heard of?
Briargate's getting a little older now. That's what I always aspired. I was like, those houses are nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you know what name always stuck out to me was Banning Lewis Ranch,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
I
yeah.
just did that open house the other day, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is a nice neighborhood, but it's not what I thought it was. You know, like in my mind, I thought it was just more of a community atmosphere, kind of like Gold Hill Mesa. You know, where they have like a big
Well,
clubhouse.
it
maybe
is.
maybe I haven't seen all of it, but
Well, there's several different parts of Banning Lewis Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
So Banning Lewis Ranch is like it's the same thing as Briargate. It's a big master planned area,
right.
and so
master
they have
plan, yeah.
several different areas that all have a kind of different feel. You know, so like if the beginning homes of Banning Lewis Ranch were all like bigger homes, and they had backyards and stuff like that. And
Yes.
as they started building farther into Banning Lewis Ranch, they started making smaller and smaller.
And that's where
smaller
I
and
was
smaller.
at, small
And then-
backyard,
yeah,
yeah.
and then closer and closer and closer.
Yeah.
And that's the way it just grew as they were building.
Dude, it is so gnarly because Falcon and Colorado Springs are basically touching right now, dude.
Oh yeah.
The houses are literally, there's almost no transition, you know, like how there used to be like a 20-minute drive from Woodman, you know, by the hospital out
I
there.
think there's a spot that's probably like a 30-second spot where there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And you're like,
right.
but they're building on the right side, so you're like, in a year it's not going to be like
You
that.
know,
You know?
that's insane.
Yeah, but Banning Lewis Ranch is, I think, people like now, like the younger kids now, that's where they will aspire.
Right, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be like Banning Lewis Ranch. I mean, even,
I remember
even
hearing about
Falcon,
Banning Lewis Ranch.
even Falcon's like that. Like I would go to Falcon, I think.
Yeah,
I'd-
Falcon's dope,
You know,
yeah.
because they've really built up some good properties out there.
Mm-hmm,
So I think that would be a.
Well, it's just
good
like a whole
spot.
nother city, too. It's like, you know, like me living so close to Manitou. It's like this is a whole different feel from the rest of the city.
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
it's
it's
because
like
Manitou is horribly built. Horribly built.
It's all old. It's so old.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
It's very but that's what gives it its charm is that there's not a whole lot of, you know, cookie cutter ass, you know, spots. It's
No,
everything's
just a bunch
kind
of
of
hippies.
yeah. There is a bunch of hippies,
Uh-huh.
including myself.
Yeah, I would like to live in like the Flying Horse area. I think that's a really
Oh, yeah,
nice
Flying
area.
Flying
good
horse,
idea.
flying horse is cool. Yeah, flying horse is cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'd live up by like Monument area,
Oh yeah,
up
yeah.
there by like the Shields and stuff like that. I would kind of live up there.
Yeah,
Those houses are really nice, but they're
Oh, like a
they're
Fender
really
Quest
nice
Parkway.
and
See,
really
there's just
expensive.
there's just something about that suburbia feel that like
Oh,
just
I
like
love it,
creeps
dude.
me out.
I
No,
love
it
it.
creeps me out, dude. It's just so.
It's so family.
Oh.
It is. Well, I live in
Damon
a
doesn't do
suburbia.
family.
Yeah.
It's not that it's just family. It's just that like everything is like so clean and brand new, and you know, I mean, like
love it.
you want everything dirty.
I'm
and-
not
I
saying
know,
I want
yeah.
everything.
Old-
That's
old
not
and
what I
dirty.
said.
Uh-huh.
That's
That
not what I
sounds-
said.
That sounds like what you're saying.
That's not what I said. I just want it to have more of a cozy village feel, I guess. Yeah, I want it to like the old Victorian look. You know, it has more character, has an old money feel instead of the new money feel. You know, I don't want it to be like a nothing house, like broken down, living in the street. You know, I want it to still have money, you know, feel, but just not so.
He wants to
Not
build
so new
floors
money.
to creek.
Uh huh. Yeah. He wants.
I
He wants
just-
his houses to be haunted.
He likes. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
The new houses, that's where it's at.
Dude, yeah, the new houses. Like my house was built in '05, and I just love the little area I live in. It's fantastic.
You live in a really good area.
Yeah, especially up Fountain because,
yeah.
dude, when I was showing one of my clients, like I showed her like 40 houses, and like half of them were like in that area and like Security Wide Field and stuff like that, and there was just bad parts of Fountain and bad parts of like Security Wide Field. It's like a step above Pueblo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I live in like the Fountain Mesa area where it's like, ooh, yeah, we got a Safeway over there. We got some nice stuff going on.
Yeah, that's a really good part of Fountain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where my buddy lived, and every time I went down there, I was like, this is such a nice like neighborhood area right here. And then he moved to another house, and I went to the other house. The house is bigger and it's nicer, but like the area isn't as nice.
Dude, that's why I love about my neighborhood is just everybody really does keep up with their stuff. And I mean, we do have an HOA, but
that's the good thing about an HOA.
That's the police. Yeah, that's a good thing about an HOA.
Yeah.
You know,
everybody hates HOAs, but
I know. But then when I got into real estate, I was like, yeah, HOAs are kind of a good thing because it protects you. It protects everybody around here.
Well, it just keeps like people from having like 6 junk cars in their driveway and on their lawn and.
Right.
Yeah, people have to take care of their stuff. It keeps my home value consistent.
Well, I think HOAs like yours are really good because you pay like what, $35 a quarter or something like that.
It's $90 quarterly.
$90 a quarter.
So it's like $30.
So like that's good because it's not a lot of money, but it's enough money to keep it nice.
Well,
and to have authority.
Well, and I have they take care of my trash service as well. So
yeah, because like I pay like $450 for my HOA and they don't do anything. Well, they pay all utilities, but like the whole everything is like run down. Like it doesn't seem like they're doing anything. And I'm like, I'm paying you $450 a month. How does it look this bad?
That is probably the most gnarly HOA though in the city. It is.
Oh, it definitely is.
I mean, for at least at a home at your budget, you know what I mean? Like that's insane.
But like for that price, I would expect my neighborhood to look like yours. You know, and it doesn't. It's like it looks like we don't have an HOA. It looks like nobody does anything.
Yeah, they take care of my trash, so I gotta imagine that 4 pickups
a month basically pay a bill.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
and it just keeps my home value consistent.
Oh yeah, your value will keep going up.
Yeah, I know. I got the home bot from Randy the other day, and it said it was worth $426.
Nice.
Yeah,
so it's gone up.
Yeah, it's gone up. I paid $4 for it.
Right.
But before we go, I did hear, I saw this headline, and I didn't get a chance to read the article, but I saw this lady saying that her boyfriend pays all the bills and the rent for the house that they live in, but he doesn't know that she's the landlord.
So she holds the mortgage.
So she holds the mortgage, and she's pretending like somebody else is the landlord. It'd be a rude awakening.
And he keeps getting nuisance rates for some reason.
Yeah, right.
Babe, I just got a call from the landlord. Rent's going up.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to go get my nails done this week.
So, yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
That is funny.
All right, guys. Well, that's the Curb Appeal podcast. If you need a home in Colorado, call Acquire Homes. We're here to help.